right now, live at 5.
President Trump will be here in Bemidji. Crowds of people already coming in. We'll have the latest coming up.
We're live outside of the Trump rally where demonstrators are sharing their voices to Trump.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden arrives in Duluth in hopes of keeping Minnesota blue come November.
And the latest on the wildfires out west that have forced millions to evacuate and recently claimed the life of a firefighter.
Plus, the popularity of bow hunting is on the rise in the Northland. We spoke to one area retailer who says they've seen the impact firsthand.
Welcome to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Bemidji, where President Trump is set to speak shortly. His visit coincides with a campaign stop here in Duluth from Democratic candidate Joe Biden. We will be covering both visits and local reactions in this half hour of the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Focusing on American workers. That was the message today as former Vice President Joe Biden toured a union training facility in Hermantown.
It was Biden's first visit to Minnesota since becoming the Democratic nominee for President of the United States.
He was introduced by Minnesota U.S. Senators Tina Smith and Amy Klobuchar, who vouched for Biden as someone who will fight for workers. Once he took the podium, Biden highlighted the importance of unions, good-paying jobs, and creating an economy that works for every American, no matter their economic status.
It's time we give hard-working families who literally built the country through their skills and their sweat and their blood, like the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners, a leg up for once. I have a big, ambitious plan that bets on the American worker. My plan is going to create millions of good-paying jobs, building the products and technologies that we need now and in the future.
The former vice president also hit on the pandemic, healthcare, infrastructure, and his plans if he is elected. We'll have much more on the Democratic nominee's visit and what he wants northern Minnesota voters to know tonight on the CBS 3 News at 6 as well as 10.
And as Biden visits Duluth, rallies both for and against his campaign were held around the Carpenters Union in Hermantown. About a block away from the union site that Biden was speaking at, a group of Biden supporters gathered as he made his first trip to the Northland this campaign cycle. We spoke with supporters who gathered to welcome him to town.
I think it's great. I think it's showing that Joe Biden cares about Minnesotans, cares about rural parts of Minnesota for coming up north to Duluth, and I'm glad he's here.
Meanwhile, right across the street from the Carpenters Union, hundreds of Trump supporters gathered. Those we spoke with say while they couldn't make it to Trump's rally in Bemidji, they were glad they could make their voices heard here.
When I had heard that Biden was actually going to pop up in Duluth here, I felt it was my duty to give him a very big, warm Trump welcome and welcome him to Trump country.
Many held signs and waved as Biden's caravan drove by.
Meanwhile, thousands are gathering in Bemidji ahead of the president's rally tonight. CBS 3's John Cardinelli joins us live from Bemidji Aviation Services. John, what's the atmosphere like there? What can we expect?
I'm here at President Donald Trump Great America Comeback Tour in Bemidji, where just under an hour, President Trump will giving a speech here at 6 o'clock, and he's expected, from what we're hearing, to fly in around 5:50 on Air Force One. He'll come down and give a speech. We're expecting him to touch on job growth here in Minnesota, especially during the pandemic, as well as what he's done over the past 4 years. Now, right now, I would say a couple of thousand people have gathered here. It's very crowded. Everyone admitted here was given a temperature check. Masks do not seem to be required. Some are wearing them, some aren't, and social distancing does not seem to be in place. Now, you'll remember earlier this week, Governor Tim Walz did send out a memo to both candidates visiting Minnesota today that he would like them to be respectful of the state's COVID-19 mandates. Now, we'll continue to keep you updated on what's happening during this presidential visit in Bemidji tonight, on air, online, and on our mobile app. And at 6, I'll be right back here, right before his speech, with an update on what's currently going on. For now, back to you.
Certainly a huge day in politics for the state of Minnesota. As you mentioned, we will cut into the president's speech when it starts, and we'll hear from you again at 6 o'clock. John Cardinelli live for us in Bemidji tonight. Thanks, John.
While many are attending the president's rally, others are outside protesting his visit. People of all ages and ethnicities are standing on the side of Paul Bunyan Drive. CBS 3's Emma Quinn has more from the scene.
Kristen, Tony, I'm outside on Paul Bunyan Drive, about a mile and a half away from where the Trump rally, the Great American Comeback Rally, is happening. So I'm going to step off camera. You can see there's a lot of people out here, probably 50, maybe more than 50 people out here. And so a lot of the people that I've spoken to today said that Trump doesn't represent the people of Bemidji, especially the native land and territory that's out here. They said that he does not have them in their best interest. You can see there's people with Biden-Harris signs, we are still here, Black Lives Matter signs, defend the sacred, referring to the sacred land out here. And so a lot of them say that they don't care about who is in office. They just want the best interest for the people of this land in this area. And so down the side, I don't know if you can see it too well, but there's some counter protesters, some Trump supporters, and the people that I've talked to said they don't care that they're here. They just want to keep the peace. And some people said they're really happy that there's a lot of young people out here. They just want everyone to stay educated and not hop on those bandwagons and hop on those trends. So we'll have more details coming up tonight, later on tonight at 10 and 6 o'clock. I'll send it back to you guys in studio.
Emma Quinn also covering in Bemidji for us tonight. Thanks, Emma. The battleground state of Minnesota has begun voting in the presidential election. Polling stations opened in every county this morning, and officials began mailing out absentee ballots. In Minneapolis, dozens of voters lined up outside the early voting center. Officials there say 44 people have voted in the first half hour after the polls opened. Minnesotans are also expected to vote by mail in record numbers under special pandemic rules. Secretary of State Steve Simon says he expects around 1.2 million absentee ballots will be cast by Election Day.
Hundreds of wildfires continue to rage in the West. Thousands of acres have burned and more than 30 people have died, including a firefighter who had been missing near San Bernardino. Chris Martinez has the latest from Juniper Hills, California.
As crews battle the El Dorado fire in San Bernardino County, officials are investigating the death of a firefighter whose body was found overnight.
Our deepest sympathies are with the family, friends, and fellow firefighters during this time.
The fire erupted earlier this month from a smoke-generating machine used for a gender reveal event. Crews had been making progress on it, but the fire has flared up again in the past 24 hours. The Bobcat fire, which has burned for more than a week, is also spreading rapidly, with flames reaching the foothills northeast of Los Angeles. Even more people are being forced to flee the flames.
I hope my neighbors all get out and they're all safe.
We just got to hope and pray, you know.
In Oregon, where wildfires have already burned about 1 million acres, rain is expected.
There are always challenges with a storm like this, such as winds and lightning strikes, but our firefighting teams tell me that we are very grateful for the rain.
Forecasters hope the wet weather will help douse some of the flames, but there's also concern heavy rains could trigger landslides.
All right, let's get a look at our weather here. Dave, another chilly start, but this was the last of it, huh?
And probably the coldest of it, too,
okay.
Tony. A couple of records were set this morning, one in Duluth, one in Hibbing. Just about every town fell into the 20s, but now warmer air is taking over, and it's going to get much milder, especially once we get into the start of the work week. Here's what's going on right now towards the Upper Peninsula, Blackjack Mountain outside of Bessemer. The colors are starting to show a hint of what's to come here. Not really popping now, but they're working towards it. And, of course, that makes it one of the most beautiful times of the year around our region, whether it's Minnesota, Wisconsin, or Michigan. So it's sad to let summer go, but autumn has its charms, including cooler temperatures. But the cool high-pressure cell is fading away, and a warm-up from the west is coming in with a low-pressure system. That means a very slight chance for some rain for our area over the weekend. Tonight, probably no rain, clear to partly cloudy sky, but thanks to a southerly wind, a low of 40 rather than 20. Saturday, partly cloudy, 65. Sunday, 68 and partly cloudy. Sunday night may be our next rain chance. Will it be a big one or a little one? I'll let you know in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, a new way to track wolves in Ashland, plus the Walk to End Alzheimer's goes virtual in Kristen's hometown. City by City is coming up.
Plus, tonight at 6, we're continuing our live local coverage of the Trump and Biden visits to Minnesota.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, Local, CBS 3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, Local, CBS 3.
The saying goes, when one door closes, another opens. So what are you waiting for? Open the door to a new home bright with possibilities. Fresh new beginnings. Play like a kid again. Enjoy life after 9 to 5. We're here to help open the door to new possibilities. Superior Choice Credit Union. This is our currency. Visit superiorchoice.com for a branch near you.
When COVID struck, President Trump took action, cut off travel from China, the source of the virus. Joe Biden criticized, politicized, attacked President Trump's leadership. And what does Biden now propose while the pandemic still smolders around the globe? Increasing refugees by 700% from the most unstable, vulnerable, dangerous parts of the world. America can't afford weak Joe Biden. Times like these call for real leadership.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Real steel. Find yours. And find what fuels you. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Pick up at over 9,000 local steel dealers. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
Show totally changed me. Everybody's view is different.
We should always be growing and challenging ourselves all the time.
Come, give it to me. Come, give it to me. Together we are stronger. Come, give it to me.
Let's get started. The Talk, new season Monday on CBS.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News, live at 5. Here's a live look over a sunny and cool Bayfield, Wisconsin. Dave Anderson will have your full weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's see what's happening around the region. A final send-off for an area World War II veteran, plus a new way to track wolves in Wisconsin.
That and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. A Proctor service member who's been missing in action since World War II will finally be given his final send-off tomorrow. Seaman Leroy Bird of Proctor served as an Army officer in the early years of the Second World War. Following his discharge, he was serving as a merchant marine when his ship was sunk by a Japanese submarine. Bird's remains were never found, and he was declared missing in action ever since. Tomorrow, he'll be honored with a memorial service and a flag presentation by the Duluth-based National Guard Honor Guard.
Now to Chisholm, where Iron Range residents are being invited to take part in the Walk to End Alzheimer's tomorrow. Instead of a large gathering like in years past, residents are taking part in small teams to help slow the spread of COVID-19. Those choosing to take part can track their steps using the new End Alzheimer's mobile app.
And finally, we finish off in Ashland, where the Wisconsin DNR is tracking a massive uptick in the area wolf population. The DNR says they counted 1,000 wolves last winter, a 13% increase from the past 2 years. Due to the population increase, the DNR will now resort to a method of wolf tracking known as occupancy modeling, which will look at pack and pack territory sizes to gauge the state's total population.
If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, go ahead and send us an email. We might feature it on City by City.
Still to come on Live at 5, bow hunting is on the rise, but what's driving the trend? Find out after the break.
Higher pressure once again has a hold of our sky, making it blue and beautiful. But overnight tonight, it's not going to be as cold and chilly. No, it's going to be much warmer, a sign of things to change. We'll talk about the changes right after our break.
They're live, they're local. Watch the CBS 3 News with Kristen Vaki and Anthony Matt tonight at 6, right after the CBS Evening News at 5:30.
The chief actuary of the Social Security Administration just released an analysis of Trump's planned cuts to Social Security. under Trump's plan, Social Security would become permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. If Trump gets his way, Social Security benefits will run out in just 3 years from now. Don't let it happen. Joe Biden will protect Social Security.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Your soul is on fire. Darkness doesn't really exist. It's just the absence of light. As you weep. You take away goodness, humanity, passion, the black hole you're left with, that's evil.
Get down! My name is Richard Jewell, and I'm not the Olympic park bomber.
The FBI is chasing an innocent man.
And the guy who did this, he's still out there.
Devil never sleep.
When a crisis strikes, cash is the best form of relief. It can easily be transformed into health services, water, food, or clothes. Cash can travel everywhere and aid people all around the world. Donate. Smart. Fast. Donate cash.
Up to 60% off on summer clothing and footwear from the North Face and Columbia at Northwest Outlet.
My 95.7 is the Northland's best variety all day. From Ed Sheeran and Maroon 5 to Lady Gaga and Bryan Adams. Always family and office friendly. My 95.7, your life, your music.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, last round of chilly temperatures hit us this morning, and they were the chilliest of the batch. Cold enough to set a new record at Duluth International Airport and at Hibbing Chisholm Airport as well. Low temps this morning ran from 20 in International Falls to a warm 28 degrees in places like Moose Lake and down on Park Point. 27 degrees was the low temp this morning in Watersmeet. Hayward was there as well, and so was Siren. Baudette 24, Grand Marais 34 right by the lake was one of the warmer temperatures. All right, let's move on to the current conditions, and hopefully while we're taking a look at those current conditions, the green screen camera will turn around and aim back towards me. No, I'm wrong. It is aiming in the right spot. It's a different camera that's now taking a shot at Tony. You get robots into the situation here, and it makes your mind wander here a little bit. Oh, back in the day I started, we had people running these cameras. Flibbity-flew. All right, current conditions at the airport. It's 57 degrees. 29% is the relative humidity with a southwest wind going 6 miles per hour. 30.36 inches of mercury. That's the air pressure right now. It's on the high side. So we're going to stay dry probably from now through Sunday, most of Sunday. Sunday night's our next rain chance, and frankly, it looks like a feeble one. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. Right now, we talk about the current temps, mid-50s in the Upper Peninsula, mid to upper 50s happening right now in northwestern Wisconsin, and a very similar range of temperatures is being found in Minnesota as well. Again, mostly in the 50s here, although you can find some 60s if you go to Siren and down towards Sinkley. Tomorrow, we warm up towards the 60s. We'll be in the upper 60s by Sunday, and once we get into Monday, warmer weather returns. We'll be in the 70s for probably 3 days. Show you those days in just a bit, but right now we eye up the Doppler map for our part of the world, and there's a few clouds in the sky as usual trying to work up and over the dome of high pressure at the surface, and a couple of Virga-y showers trying to cross the border from Ontario and Manitoba in towards Itasca County, Minnesota. Probably not going to pay off with much precipitation at all, probably zero actually. Getting some precipitation, the Gulf Coast again. Sally's in the Atlantic now today as planned, but Hurricane Beta, so many hurricanes were now into the Greek alphabet here. Alpha's still way in the Atlantic, but Beta is taking shape in the Gulf of Mexico right now and may affect the Gulf Coast in a few days here. So they're still going to get wet. Here in our region, the high cool pressure that kept us high and dry and cold for a while, it's going away. Low pressure systems coming in, bringing in a warm-up, and that slight chance of showers Sunday night and Monday morning. After that, then it dries up again, along with the warm-up. And now, tonight's forecast in Minnesota. Low temps near 40 rather than 20. That's a big improvement. Into Wisconsin and Michigan, the low temps there will be near 40 as well. Taking a look at the forecast for Wisconsin and Michigan tomorrow, we'll be in the low to mid 60s, getting back closer to normal here finally. Partly cloudy sky from the high. That covers Minnesota too, as well as the other two states. And we're going from the upper 50s by the lake to upper 60s farther inland. A sign of things to come. There's that light rain chance on Sunday night, Monday morning. 72 Monday, 75 Tuesday, 70 not so bad on Wednesday. And then, Tony, we go back a little bit on Thursday to a high of 67, but 70 could come calling again by next Friday. So real fall starts on Tuesday, not astronomical, or actually not meteorological fall. Astronomical fall comes around on Tuesday. And then we get summer-style temperatures coming back.
Works for me. You know, and with all these chilly starts we've had this week to the days, I've noticed that mosquitoes are almost gone. So
that's one good thing about our 5 to 6 month long winter, isn't it?
Certainly is. Thanks, Dave. A group of musicians spread joy through song today. Duluth's Victory Chorus provided music for several senior living facilities. The choir is made up of people who have dementia and community members supporting them through their journey. The ensemble sang to senior citizens through windows to help lift their spirits during the pandemic.
It's been really fun because people like to sing along. We sing old songs, you know, from when people were growing up, and they get a big kick out of it and they like to sing along. So it's a way of bringing joy and happiness to them and helping them feel a little bit more connected.
The choir will be performing songs for residents today at Benedictine Marywood and Beehive Assisted Living.
One of the oldest forms of hunting has been seeing a surge in popularity in recent years. Bow hunting is on the rise in the Northland. According to the Wisconsin DNR website, archery tag sales went up 13,000 between 2015 and 2017. This comes as rifle permit sales trended downward by almost the exact same figure. CBS 3's Chance Fortune spoke with a local archery dealer to find out what's fueling this increase.
Randy Graver owns Custom Archery in Superior. He says they've seen a big increase in business ahead of this year's archery season.
This year is booming. Ever since about the 1st of June, we've been non-stop. It's the craziest year I've ever seen.
It's a trend Graver says is also reflected in local archery events like Bowfest, which draw hunters and enthusiasts from across the nation to Superior each year for a 4-day archery competition.
Bowfest has been a great event. It's been nothing but grow. They get more and more people every year. That I think you're drawing some of that crowd that maybe didn't bow hunt.
According to Graver, Bowfest isn't the only big contributor to bow hunting's rising popularity in the region.
Like all the new YouTube channels out there, and there's a lot of guys just out having fun filming their hunts, and I think a lot of people are seeing that and seeing what kind of the other side of what comes to hunting besides just going out and shooting stuff.
David Jones is a Duluth hunter who's using social media to spread bow hunting to others. He says what's drawing more hunters to the archery world is the challenge that it presents.
In Northland, I'm beginning to see more and more bow hunters because it's becoming that, that popular sport. More hunters are, they're wanting a challenge.
Jones runs his own Instagram hunting channel. He says he enjoys using his platform to showcase just how fun bow hunting can be.
What I love is just getting messages where I have inspired someone, or, they were watching somebody else on YouTube or Instagram, and they say, hey, you know what? I loved watching you go out and go hunting. You know what? It looks extremely fun. I see how much fun you're having. I want to go out and I want to have that same experience too.
While Wisconsin's bow hunting season opened last week, Saturday marks opening weekend for Minnesota's bow hunting season. Custom Archery says they've seen plenty of customers from across the bridge in recent weeks.
Still to come, a major investor in the redevelopment of a historic lodge is pulling their offer off the table.
I was diagnosed with diabetes at 13, so I got to work. I'm Quinn Nystrom, and I became a national advocate. Went door to door in Brainerd, then St. Paul. Went up to Canada to bring back insulin for a fraction of what drug companies charge here. But Pete Stopper went to Washington and voted against making healthcare and prescription drugs more affordable. I approve this message because Minnesota can't afford Pete Stopper in Congress.
Arrowhead Supply is your local professional source for kitchen, bath, and countertops since 1973. Whether you're planning to remodel or build new, Arrowhead Supply has a wide range of styles and finishes to choose from. We custom fabricate laminate, quartz, granite, or Corian countertops on site and provide top installation. View all of the new colors, materials, and wood available and receive help from our knowledgeable staff at our Lincoln Park showroom. Arrowhead Supply. Visit us today. Free in-home estimates available.
We need to make things here in America.
We rely on other countries for too many things. I'm Tina Smith, and I have a plan to rebuild American manufacturing, to strengthen our economy and grow the middle class. It starts with building a medical supply chain, so we're not relying on other countries for the medicine we need. I approve this message because instead of talking about making things in America, I've got a plan to do it.
On the south shore of the greatest of the Great Lakes, Mother Nature's artistry is on full display in the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore. The best way to see it is on board Apostle Islands Cruises, located in the quaint city of Bayfield, Wisconsin. Visit our website at apostleisland.com. Apostle Islands Cruises, the best way to visit the Apostle Islands.
Yeah, I think we're good here. Why do we offer so many active safety features on our Chevy SUVs? Oh, yeah. All set.
Ready, Freddie?
Because we're not just engineers.
Call us when you get there, okay? Slowly. I'm going slow.
We have families, too.
Get 15% of MSRP cash back on most 2020 Equinox models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. Plus, current GM owners get an additional $750 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
So, you made it all the way up to the North Pole?
Yep, and the South. But I need good Medicare coverage so I can keep exploring.
Well, we have a range of Medicare Advantage plans, some including dental, vision, prescription, and travel benefits.
Can I find them online?
Yeah, absolutely. Or you can give us a call.
Sounds good.
Well, our stop is just up ahead.
So that was the shortest ride I think I've ever been on.
Yeah, quarantine legs. Gotta work those muscles back up.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Let's check in with meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt this morning.
And the below average trend
Thanks so much for joining us. So wake up with us starting at 5 a.m.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m. on CBS 3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
An organization planning to help redevelop an historic lodge in Cable is pulling their offer off the table. This morning, Telemark Redevelopment LLC leaders withdrew their $1 million offer to buy the resort and ski hill portion of the old Telemark Resort. They originally made the offer in June. Their goal was to work hand in hand with the American Birkebeiner Ski Foundation, which bought the entire resort. But Telemark Redevelopment spokespeople say their vision and timeline for the project was too different from the Berkey Foundation's goals. The organizers say they plan to announce plans for another project in the next few months. We reached out to the Berkey Foundation for comment. We have not heard back.
Thanks to a federal grant, the Carleton County Airport in Cloquet is getting a new hangar. At a morning press conference, local, state, and federal officials announced a $1.2 million grant for the project coming from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. The hangar will serve as a workforce training center for pilots and maintenance technicians. Along with nearly 40 new jobs and millions of dollars in private investments, the mayor of Cloquet expects this expansion to put their airport on the map.
People don't tend to drive out here because most don't fly from here. And so I think a lot of people wouldn't even know that we have it. But to add a big new hangar with this training facility that we're going to have, it's something I'm very excited about.
Project leaders hope to start construction in the fall and have it completed by the end of 2021. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS 3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Have our certified nurse midwives provide personal one-on-one support and guidance for your next pregnancy. Visit essentiahealth.org to learn more.
During the 3-day sale at Home Furniture, everything is on sale. Plus up to 15% off sale prices with instant factory rebates, free no-contact shipping, and no interest financing until 2022. Hurry! Home's 3-day sale ends Sunday.
I'm the third generation on this family farm out here in western Pennsylvania. This farm's been here since 1949. It's a great lifestyle. It's not one of the rich and the famous, but it's a lifestyle that I wouldn't trade anybody for. Yeah, I voted for Trump in 16, and I'll be the first to tell you I made a mistake. Pandemic, it's been tough on everybody. You know, President Trump, he's not responsible for this virus. Nobody was going to be able to stop that, but he was totally negligent on how he informed the people. I mean, the guy gets the blame for what's happening. If people had did things right day one, we wouldn't be where we're at today. You know, with Joe Biden, I think we got a person that's got some compassion and he's got a real plan to get things going, turn it around. You know, I made a mistake in 2016. I won't make a mistake in 2020.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Democratic nominee Joe Biden arrives in Duluth. How he hopes to win the votes of Northlanders come November.
We've had an awfully long stretch of fair weather. I'll talk about when our next rain chance is coming around.
Tonight at 6.
Home Sleep Express has gone purple. Now you can test and buy a famous purple mattress at Home Sleep Express. Sleep cooler and more comfortable on the mattress that broke the internet. And get free delivery, setup, plus no interest financing. The famous purple mattress, now at Home Sleep Express.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Your fall fashion headquarters with new arrivals daily. Downtown Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over Canal Park. Let's take a quick look at some of today's top stories and a sneak peek at what's coming up at 6. Focusing on American workers. That was the message today as former Vice President Joe Biden toured a union training facility in Hermantown. Biden highlighted the importance of unions, good-paying jobs, and creating an economy that works for everybody.
And tonight at 6, we're continuing our live local coverage of Campaign 2020. Stay with CBS 3 for the latest. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next.
Thanks for watching.